To be against.
Fucking
Bro, look at that. Oh.
Bad things, fun as hell, thick as fuck.
Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be ranking every single Gobblegum in Black Ops 3. I am going to be ranking this based off of favoritism and how much it helps me with high rounds, Easter eggs, and making my life slightly easier. So, now there are 44 Mega Gobblegums, so I am going to be ranking all of them worst to best, by the way. So, let's get started. The worst Gobblegum in the Mega Gobblegums category has got to be Crawl Space. The reason why I say this is worse than every single other Mega Gobblegum is because it is completely useless. Like, only times you will ever really need to use this is on Horizon Drac, on the Void Bow step when you need crawlers, or saving last zombie. It's just something you don't really need. Coming up next we have Slaughter Slide. Now, the problem I have with Slaughter Slide is most of the time when you use it, it's going to be accidental when you try to get a speed boost and you end up just sliding, and it just wastes it. It's hard to find a good use with it, to be honest. Coming up next, we then have Licensed Contractor. Now, there's so many other replacements for this Gobblegum, whether it's raindrops to board games. It's not that helpful, and it only has 3 activations, giving you 200 points each. And at the start, you had to buy Gobblegums for 500 points, so you'd only get a 100 point profit if you were to do that, which is just not very good. Coming up next after that is board games. Now, the reason why I don't like board games is because you never really do need to repair barriers, especially all-in-one. Like, we avoid carpenters because they slow the game down, so why would we want to repair barriers all-in-one, which would just slow it down. Then next up we have Burned Out. Now, most of the time when you use this Gobblegum, it's used accidentally when you're trying to save a zombie, or it's the start of the round, and just a singular zombie wastes with one hit, and then that's half of it gone. Following that is then Unbearable. It's quite pointless because if you get the teddy bear from a box, you may as well just go and find it. It'll take you like a minute. After that, we then have Mind Blown. Now, this is quite a bad thing because I don't even think you get points for killing the zombies too. Like, it looks cool when you use it, but at the same time, it's completely pointless. It'll barely ever save you. Then in front of that, we have Ephemeral Enhancement. Is that how you say it? Now, the reason why this is quite low is because although it gives you a pack-a-punch weapon and it can be decent for low rounds, in the high rounds, you have already, by like round 15, you already have both your pack-a-punch weapons and you have no weapon to use it on, and then it's just useless and it's just taking up one of your slots. Then after that we have Respin Cycle. Now, at most, this will save you like 1900 points, when instead you can literally just use a money Gobblegum instead. After that we then have Bored to Death. Now, this Gobblegum will barely ever be used. Most of the time when you use this is when you're testing it out to see it kill zombies. Other than that, you're never really going to use it. Next up we have is Who's Keeping Score. Now, this is quite useful on the early rounds. When it comes to the higher rounds and you no longer really need points, it's just taking up one of your slots. Following that, we then have Temporal Gift. Now, at first you can think, oh, this seems quite useful, but then when you use it, you barely ever get drops. Like, at most you'll get 8 drops with it, and not all of them will be time ones, so it's pretty much just a waste of a slot. After that, you might be surprised by this one, but it's Secret Shopper. Now, the reason why I've rated this one so low is because you can't buy ammo with wonder weapons. You can already tell there's those couple people who went to go buy ammo for their wonder weapon and accidentally swapped it out for like a Shiva, which is really dumb, especially it's our ultra rare mega. After that, we then have Disorderly Combat. Now, this Gobblegum, quite fun actually, but in my opinion, you won't really need it for Easter eggs or for high rounds or anything. So next up, we then have Aftertaste. Now, this Gobblegum is quite useful, but in solo, which is what I mostly play, it won't keep your quick revive, which I can kind of understand, but if you have more than 4 perks, you need to take up another Gobblegum slot just to get that quick revive back. We then have Idolize. Now, at first, when you look at the description of this Gobblegum, it sounds like it'll be really useful, you know, all your players go invisible for 60 seconds with 3 activations, so that's 3 minutes. But most of the time when you have this, you won't really use it at the same time when your team needs it. You really just use it for yourself. After that, we then have Killing Time. Now, at the start of the game, when this first came out, this was one of the funnest Gobblegums because there were so many glitches to do it, but they weren't game breaking, so you could literally just have fun with it. And then it got patched and now it's like quite useless. It's not worth a Gobblegum slot at all. We then have Dead of the Nuclear Winter. Now, this can be useful at times, but most of the time high rounders tend to avoid nukes because they slow down the rounds. Proceeding next is Pop Shocks. Now, this is really useful against mini bosses like the Panzer, Thrasher or Margwa, but other than that, you probably won't use it, to be honest. Like, you'll end up just using it against a zombie by accident. Now we have Immolation Liquidation. Now this really helps you in the lower rounds, getting you a weapon. Try to get a wonder weapon, but once you get your weapons, you'll never touch it again unless you need monkey bombs or something. Then we have Phoenix Up. Now Phoenix Up is amazing. It's really good when you're playing with your teammates, and when you're in the public lobby and that one teammate revives you with a Phoenix Up and keeps you all your perks, you forever owe him, because he in your heart is your new god. Now we then have Fear and Headlights. Now this Gobblegum was pretty much made for the Shadows of Evil meatball step. Other than that, trying it on different Easter eggs like Gobblegum when you have to escort the Valkyrie or the Mangler, it stops the Valkyrie and the Mangler when you look at them with Fear and Headlights, so not just a zombie stop, and it just slows it down quite a lot, and it lasts for 2 minutes, which is pretty good. But then we have Bullet Boost. This is nearly crucial for high rounds on maps like Nectar and Toten or Verrucht or Shinonuma, ones that don't have Pack-a-Punch, and it helps you get high rounds so well. But you do need to run other Gobblegums as well. It can be quite annoying because that's 2 of your 5 Gobblegum slots already took up. Now we have Extra Credit. Now I'd say this Gobblegum is actually really good because stuff like Respin Cycle and Unbearable, instead of having a Gobblegum that saves you 1900 points, why don't you get a Gobblegum that gives you 5000 points and 10,000 on a double points. Now we have Profit Sharing. Now this Gobblegum is actually really helpful on the earlier rounds. Like, you got a squad of 4, one person gets all the points, everyone else get those points too, and it helps you set up fast. But when it comes to later rounds, everyone's usually just split up from each other and everyone's got points, so it's just useless when you round about those times. Now we have On the House. Now this is really good because it gives you a free perk, but the problem is it's randomized, right? So it's good if your teammate pops on the house and you get a mule kick or deadshot daiquiris one of your first perks. That is the most annoying thing because you know you're going to have to down so you can buy all your perks that you do need. Now we have Killjoy. This is really helpful for high rounds, but I'm not putting it higher because there's another replacement that is much better than it. Then we have Cashback, which is really helpful for high rounds, but yet again, like, it is outshined by other Gobblegums. Now we have Head Drama. Now I love this Gobblegum, but the problem is it only lasts for the remainder of the round. So what that means is there could be one zombie left in the round, you pick up a Head Drama, and the round someone kills that one zombie, you lose your Head Drama. So you pretty much would have been better off not picking it up. Coming up next is Undead Man Walking. This Gobblegum is so helpful for maps like Gorod Cove and the Valkyrie step, Mangler step, Bomb step, just pretty much 90% of the steps, because what this does is it keeps the zombies walking really slow, making your life so much easier for escorting and stuff like that. We have Soda Fountain. Now this Gobblegum is really helpful because you can buy all the perks. There's no perk limit when you use it. You just need to buy 4 perks and you've pretty much got them all, maybe 5, because every time you pick up a perk it gives you another free perk. So if you buy all the cheapest perks in the map, then pretty much have everything you need. After that we have Wall Power. This is almost essential on maps like Verrucht or Shinonuma to get high rounds, because without that you have no Pack-a-Punch weapons and your guns will be so much weaker than they should be. But what's better than that is number 9, Crate Power. Now this is even more crucial for Verrucht and Shinonuma. Since there's no Pack-a-Punch machine, you have no other way to Pack-a-Punch your wonder weapons, so get the wonder weapon out of the box with Crate Power and it's already Pack-a-Punch and you're like set for the next 50 rounds. Next up we have Shopping Free. Now this is really helpful on the lower rounds when you need to get all the doors open, but other than that you won't really use it unless you need to Pack-a-Punch, which you can just use other Gobblegums on, and it only lasts for a minute, so it is really useful, but other than that you will more than likely not use it again after you use it once. You might be surprised by this actually, but coming up next we have Fatal Contraption. Now I love Fatal Contraption because when you're saving it on a map and then a boss comes, you can just use it, laser the zombie with the minigun, and that's you done with it, and then you can use it to kill the zombies too. Problem is there is another replacement Gobblegum for it which is way better than it. We have Self Med. Now this is really good because you can revive yourself by killing zombies with a ray gun that it gives you for free, and you can keep your perks plus quick revive, so after you finish the Self Med Gobblegum you can still revive yourself. Then we have Round Robin. Now this is so much better for high rounds because one round takes like 5-10 minutes, which is really tedious, so using a Round Robin it saves you all that time and takes you straight to the next one. Then number 4 spot we have Perkaholic. Now I love this map because I love this Gobblegum because of how much easier it makes your life, like getting all the perks in one go, which saves you a lot of points, a lot of time, gives you more health, so you probably won't down for a while. And you can use them to get unlimited quick revives, I'm pretty sure too, so that's pretty good. Coming to the third best drop, in my opinion, is raindrops. Now, you might argue with this, but in my opinion, it's really helpful because it gives you one of each 9 core power drops, which is really helpful because since it gives you each one of the 9, you get your ammo gets full again, you get more points with extra credit and double points. You get a free minigun, so if there's any mini bosses, you can immediately just take them out too with all the zombies dead with the nuke. It's just a perfect combo. Now, coming up to the second best Gobblegum in the game, Power Vacuum. Now, when you look at the description on this, it just says power-ups drop more often, which is a very, very vague description, but when you use it in-game, it is so good because it drops so many insta-kills, max ammos, nukes, death machines even, insta-kills, which when you have it, you're pretty much invincible because you've got all these Gobblegums which make the zombies one hit, you've got unlimited ammo pretty much. So yeah, it's pretty good, unless you're using the Wonder Waff, which doesn't drop any drops. Coming to the final Gobblegum, the best one in the whole game, best one ever to be honest, out of Black Ops 4 and 3, is Near Death Experience. Now, if you use this on solo, you won't die. For the next 4 rounds, it is impossible for you to die, because what it does is it revives you on solo by yourself automatically for as much times as you want, as long as you've got it active. And it keeps all your perks too, so you probably won't die as well if you do end up going down. That's going to be it for today's video. Now, this video did take me a long time to do, so it would be appreciated if you could subscribe and like the video, as it does do a lot. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.